So, hallo und willkommen zurück. Und so, dass kurz der Gamezone weg ist, aber willkommen zurück zu Trades in Reverie. Und wir sind auf dem Title Screen. Und das hat einen ganz bestimmten Grund. Wie ihr wisst, haben wir beim letzten Mal ähm, Trades in Reverie, also schon beim vorletzten Mal gefinisht und haben noch ein bisschen extra Stuff noch in Coda gemacht, ohne Story, um uns auf einen Nightmare Run vorzubereiten, den wir jetzt starten werden. Ich habe jetzt auch noch offscreen, also auch noch außerhalb des Streams, noch ein kleines bisschen mehr gegrindet. Einfach nur, um noch die letzten Skill-Upgrades und sowas zu kriegen für so ein paar Characters. Und ich habe mir so überlegt, ob ich vielleicht mir nicht sage, ich muss dann auch in die genauen Options für New Game Plus reingucken, aber ich nicht trotzdem nur sage, wir starten trotzdem einfach mit dem Base-Level, den wir normalerweise startet und nehmen keinen Level-Carryover, wenn sich das extra drin lässt. Und gehen einfach rein, weil ich glaube, es könnte einfach optimaler sein, wenn es darum geht, Master Quartz zu leveln. Und wie gesagt, es ist auch das Zuge da, um auch ein paar noch Achievements für mich zu halten. Für mich sind noch 7 Achievements offen. Einmal, dass wir noch 2 Millionen Mirror kriegen, das sollte nebenbei passieren. Eine, dass wir einen Master Quartz auf Level 15 kriegen, das sollten wir definitiv schaffen. Einmal, dass wir Nightmare Difficulty clear machen, dementsprechend spielen wir für Nightmare. Dass wir alle Battle Sections in dem Notebook noch einsammeln. Ich habe geguckt, wir haben in der Story leider ein paar verpasst. Eine in North Highlands, 2 im Moon Temple und einen, glaube noch im Castle of Mirrors. Und ich weiß nicht, ob ich dann vielleicht noch ein paar Void Spire Monsters nur unbedingt für das Achievement brauche. Ich weiß nicht, wie das mit dem Tracking ist zwischen Reverie Corridor und Base Game, was wirklich alles reinzählt für das Achievement, weil man muss nicht alles vom Reverie Corridor haben für das Achievement. Weil steht halt Excludes Coder Content. Die Frage ist, was fällt wirklich unter den Rahmen Coder Content? 1500 Victories in Battle. Ich weiß nicht, was so der Punkt ist, wie wir da sind. Und dann accomplish all Master Missions and receive compensation. Das sind dann die ganzen Master Missions im Reverie Corridor. Das sind Sachen wie darunter, dass man zum Beispiel alle Charaktere auf Level 250 kriegen soll, dass man alle Master Quartz auf Level 15 kriegen soll und solche Späßchen. Die ganzen Minigame-Sachen, die ich schon einmal abgeholt habe. Ich weiß nicht, ob das Carry-over in dem Fall, dass wir da ja den Reverie Corridor jetzt mal resetten. Wenn das nicht der Fall sein sollte, werde ich vielleicht so sagen, dass ich vielleicht mir diese Master Mission Sachen vielleicht für mich nochmal privat mache und nicht unbedingt on-stream oder zumindest jetzt nicht noch vor Daybreak noch machen werde. Denn der primäre Grund, warum wir jetzt noch diesen Nightmare Run machen, der ist für euch. Denn ich habe schon während meinem Story-Part schon erwähnt, ich habe einen Fehler gemacht. Ich habe gesagt, der Reverie Corridor soll bitte auf den Stand bleiben, wie er es war. Einfach, damit ich mich um Reverie Corridor nicht groß kümmern muss. Und stand jedenfalls da, dass vielleicht Story Progression nicht darin so funktioniert, wie man sich dachte, aber dass man wirklich gar keine Story Progression darüber hat, habe ich nicht erwartet. Und es gibt noch so ein paar interessante Story-Lore-Bits und Sachen, die im Reverie Corridor passieren. Vor allem Coda. Dafür machen wir jetzt noch einen dritten Rang. Das heißt aber auch wiederum, ich werde die ganzen Nightmare Run Sachen streamen. Ich werde aber nur explizit die ganzen Reverie Corridor Sachen, also sei es Reverie Corridor First Visit, Second Visit, Third or Fourth Visit oder halt eben Coda dann explizit als Folgen rausbringen. Nur mal als einzelne kleine Folgen. Und nicht das komplette Nightmare Run Ding, was wir im Stream haben werden. Denn ich werde auch alles an Story skippen, außer Reverie Corridor. Also im Reverie Corridor werden wir uns Cutscenes und alles angucken. Wir werden auch mit den NPCs und sowas alles reden. Ansonsten werden wir sehr viel einfach im Speed Mode drin sein. Selbst den Cutscenes und alles skippen. Wir haben die Cutscenes schon gesehen, dementsprechend ja. Und das sind, glaube ich, so die großen Informationen, die jetzt, glaube ich, für euch dann noch relevant sind. Dementsprechend loaden wir eine Clear-Save-File. Ich habe extra jetzt nochmal eine angelegt von meinem Stand nach dem Grinding. Das kann man, by the way, nach dem Postgame jederzeit machen, wenn man mit dem schwarzen Spiegel spricht. Womit man normalerweise wieder aus dem Reverie Corridor rauskommen könnte in einer normalen Story. Ermöglicht dir einfach jederzeit einen Clear Save zu machen mit dem Stand, den du halt hast, damit du halt alles mitnehmen kannst, wo du gerade bist. Und hier gerade Nadia ist sogar Level 188, ist sogar ein bisschen weniger, als wie ich es eigentlich bei meinem Privaten habe, aber ist auch ein bisschen weniger Zeit reingeflossen. Und dann laden wir das mal. Begin New Game Plus. Yep. Would you like to cover... Oh, for a second playthrough. So. Wir werden den Reverie Corridor explizit nicht carry-overn. Das heißt, RP ist wieder ein Ding. Werde ich vielleicht darauf achten, ob wir das machen. Ich werde es zumindest versuchen. Ich weiß nicht, wie die Boss-Fights zum Teil werden in Nightmare Run. Und warum spackt eigentlich das hier mit dem Maus hier so kurz rein? Das nervt. Mission Completion ist halt nicht mehr gedragt. Notebooks ist nicht mehr gedragt. Daydreams sind nicht mehr gedragt. Phantasmal Shards sind nicht mehr gedragt. Seeding Stones und Vanish Mastercast. Das wird alles geresettet. Vieles davon interessiert uns eigentlich schon nicht mehr. Also zumindest nicht in dem Run. Da wir die schon gemacht haben im zweiten Playthrough. Ich werde Crafts only mitnehmen. Deswegen die Levels nicht. Aber die Craft Progression. Deswegen habe ich noch die ganzen Trials gemacht. Außer die von McBurn, weil McBurn Reverie Corridor Exclusive Character ist. Link-Levels nehmen wir wieder mit, Slot-Levels nehmen wir heute, die wir vorher gemacht haben. Master-Course-Levels nehmen wir definitiv mit. Mirrors, Effort und New Materials genauso. Items genauso. Story Summary brauchen wir nicht unbedingt. Aber kann man machen. Und Enemy Levels. Plus 100. Yep. We do that. Ich denke mal, ich werde es brauchen, dass ich Gegnerlevel bis 250 habe, eben damit ich Master Quartz überhaupt auf 15 kriegen kann, wegen EXP-Scaling. Aber wenn ich versuche, dann irgendwie mit 250 Level Character 190er Gegner zu klatschen und damit Master Quartz zu leveln, fuck that. EXP-Scaling ist so abysmal ab dem Zeitpunkt. Dementsprechend, ja. Gucken wir mal rein. Mal sehen, ob die Gegner dann auch irgendwie dann schon bei, was weiß ich, 100 noch was starten oder nicht. Falls das der Fall sein sollte und wir direkt gleich hardboren, werden wir nochmal neu starten, aber, ne? Und ansonsten, Start Game. Wir gehen auf Nightmare. Carrying over from the clear savings recommended mit Abyss, ja. Wir machen Nightmare. Wir könnten auch Abyss machen. Ich weiß noch nicht, wie es mit dem Achievement Tracking ist. Das Achievement fragt explizit nach Nightmare und nicht Nightmare or Abyss. Deswegen machen wir Nightmare. Einfach nur, wo alle sicher sein will. Und es ist auch noch ein bisschen schwerer, als was wir jetzt mit Hard hatten. Und Hard war jetzt nicht so schlimm. Dementsprechend machen wir Nightmare. Ich denke mal, das soll das mit dem Level auch passen. So, wir werden Failed jetzt nicht retryen können. Ja, ist aber okay. Yep, wir werden uns wieder die Bonis mitnehmen. Auch flickert die Maus immer noch rein, das nervt. Hier nehmen wir unser kurz T4-Save wieder nochmal mit. Achso, und eine extra Info. Ich habe einen Mod installiert, den ihr vielleicht noch zwischendurch vielleicht sehen werdet. Weil ich das eigentlich ein cooles Feature fand, was wir in den Crossplay-Games hatten. Und ich fand, das sollten wir vielleicht auch hier machen. Ihr werdet vielleicht ein Pop-Up zwischendurch mal wieder sehen. Für euch. Huh? What's this strange feeling? Choosing to continue will cause the main story to advance. It will also not be possible to go any further in Lloyd's story for a brief period. Proceed. Something wrong, Lloyd? Oh, sorry, I thought I sent something strange, but it must have been my imagination. Wait. Why does my pocket feel bulky all of a sudden? A mirror? How peculiar looking. Where did you find it? I'm not sure. I've never seen it before. Strange as it sounds, it just appeared in my pocket out of nowhere. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that doesn't just happen. I'm guessing one of the village kids left it in your pocket as a prank. Maybe, but I doubt any of them could pull it off without me noticing. But if that's not it, then how did it get in my pocket? Can't even hazard a guess. Feels to have it for a reason. It's so bizarre. Where could it have come from? Huh. Something feels strange. Choose to continue because the main story to advance. It will also not be possible to go any further in Ween's story for a brief period. Something wrong? It's probably nothing. I just got a weird feeling. It feels like something's in my pocket that wasn't there before. What is this? That's a weird looking mirror. It's expensive to carry one of those around. Since never, this is mine. Just ended up in my pocket somehow. Are you certain? I doubt anyone could slip something into your pocket without you noticing. Yeah, nothing gets by you, Ween. I don't have a clue how this got there, but there has to be a reason behind it. Though I can't imagine it connects in any way to the prince's disappearance or what's happening in Crossbell. What? What's happening?
条件は整った。楚は現世を映す玄武なれど、あまたの可能性を秘めるものなり。因果の地平、開口の知恵と、そなたらをいざなわん。
So, die Cutscene haben wir nie gesehen. Diesen ganzen Reverie Corridor Spaß. What just happened? What? Where are we? Some sort of white garden? I've never seen anything like it. I'm getting a feeling there's some more to this place than meets the eye, too. I mean, what kind of garden is surrounded by floating books? Yeah, I'm not sure, yeah, but it doesn't feel like the world we know. How did we even get here to begin with? Yeah, that's a good question. I can't fathom how we came here either. In fact, I can't recall what I was doing before I ended up here at all. Hier kommen nämlich schon mal die Erinnerungsmanipulation mit dem Spiel, was ich ja schon im Main Game erwähnt habe. Wie gesagt, ich habe immer kurze Summaries gegeben, was so normalerweise passieren würde. Now we see in full. The story all together the moment before we arrived, but beyond that, I haven't the slightest clue what happened. That's just great. It's like something is blocking out my memories of before we got here. Actually, it's worse than that. It's not just my memories of right before. It's gotta be a good reason I was hanging around you guys, but it beats me what it is. At least we're on the same page about that. I feel fuzzy too. I've been trying my best to recall what I was doing earlier today, but nothing's coming to mind. Best guess is we were working together for some reason, but I'm not sure why. Because that's how we got here, I think it's safe to assume it's affected our memories somehow. Agreed, and standing around being confused isn't going to answer any of our questions. I think we should have a look around and see what we can find. So do I. If nothing else, we need to know whether this garden is safe. You'll find clues as to how we arrived here as well. Sounds like you've got a plan then. Oh, and don't forget there are 2 floors to this place. Let's check them both out. That mirror is enormous. It looks remarkably similar to this one. You're right, it's as though the smaller mirror is a fragment of the larger one. Can't figure that. I'm surprised I can remember you even having that mirror. I do too, although I can't remember what it is or why Lloyd has it. Actually, did you work something out? I wouldn't go that far, unfortunately. Just remembered something that's common in Eastern folklore. It's that mirrors with evil spirits in them can cause strange phenomena. It made me wonder if this mirror perhaps has some kind of strange power in it. And if that's how we were all brought here. It's pretty spooky, but just as a good guess as any at this point. This place is so weird that I wouldn't rule out anything as a possibility. Yep, I can feel something strange coming off it, but it's not doing anything for now at least. Maybe it'd kick on or something if we do something else around here. I was saying it could have conditions. If that's the case, discerning those conditions could be our key to getting out of here. Let's continue to have a look around then. Schade, dass wieder viele von den Sachen nicht gewollt sind. But that sphere is floating in the air. Could this be? I'm not sure, I've never seen anything like it. The pattern on its surface kind of resembles the one on this place's walls. It being placed on a platform in the middle makes it seem important too. It doesn't appear to be actively doing anything, at the very least. Yet another mystery to be solved. Let's push it to the back of our minds for now and remember that it's here. Strange bird is blocking the way. It doesn't look like we'll be able to get through here. That's unfortunate. I'm curious to know where the elevator leads. Not active right now, either way. No use worrying about it right now. Maybe figure out how to get past this thing later. A good old stone monument, huh? Now it's starting to come together. Figured something out? Yeah, I'm 100% certain now that I don't have a clue what's going on. A few days later, and he hasn't changed a bit. We're right back to square one. A stone pillar? Think it's some kind of device? It does seem that way. There's another one over there as well that probably holds some significance. Let's go check it out. It was pretty similar to the other one, but something's different about it. The mysteries continue to pile up. There must be some reason that there are two of them. And it's safe to assume they're connected in some way. They're likely related to whatever this place's purpose is. If only we knew what the heck it is. Hopefully you'll figure something out if you keep looking around. It's a globe on some kind of pedestal. Can only assume that it's meant to be used for something as well. Something important by the look of it. No reaction at all. Whatever this thing is, it's not on at the moment. It looks like a relic or something, given the feel of this place. Hard to say for sure though. Now that you mention it, this garden does resemble an ancient ruin of sorts. There's just one problem with that theory. Yeah, everything seems too new. There's not a speck of dust on this pedestal. It looks like it was made 5 minutes ago. Then why isn't it active? I can think of several possibilities, but they're all just conjecture. Guess we should keep looking around. Is there some kind of door? Yeah, it's unusually large. I wonder what it's doing here. It looks entirely out of place. You could say that about the books floating around here. I've been thinking about those ever since we arrived. There's something about them that's very disturbing. Or heading. And what's strange is I can't make out any of the titles on the book, no matter how hard I looked either. That's a mystery in and of itself. I know there's a gun, but part of me still wasn't expecting to find a tree. Yeah, let alone one as splendid as this. It seems so out of place here. Looks like some kind of broadleaf tree. Never seen one with leaves, bark or branches like this before though. It's like something else entirely got reshaped into the form of a dream. That's an interesting perspective. Now I'm even more confused. Let's just agree that there's something unusual about it, though that doesn't make it any different from the garden as a whole. Can't rule out it being placed here for more than just decoration. As my eyes are playing tricks on me, I'm pretty sure it's glowing too. The more explored, the more mysterious this place seems to be. I suppose all we can do is keep poking around and hope everything becomes clear. Before investigate the area further, but weren't able to find anything useful, naturally they returned to the plaza where they first arrived to discuss the next move. I think we've seen all there is to see around here. Fortunately, I still don't have a clue what this place is. Likewise, everything we've inspected has just left us with more questions. I just wish we still had our memories from before we came here. I imagine that would fill in several gaps for us. Still, it isn't as though we haven't learned anything useful at all. For one, we know this place was created by someone, or something. True, it's definitely weird enough to not seem real, but I think it's safe to assume it has some kind of purpose. Beyond that, we know it resembled some kind of garden or ruin, but it's anyone's guess as to what it was intended to be. There are also all those devices we came across, but none of them are active. So it leads us right back to square one. Let's agree that each detail is going to be useful information in trying to learn more. Above all, we need to learn why we are here.
隠して新たな物語が始まった。絡み合う因果の一端を担うはそなたの役目。さあ、目覚めるがよい。
Was that a memory? You're right, Lloyd. Something came to me just now. Do you guys remember hearing a voice just before coming here? A voice? Wait, now that you mention it. I do faintly remember hearing one. There was something strange about it. Yeah, I kinda remember it too, but it's still pretty fuzzy. I wonder. You mentioned just being one thread among many. Does that mean... Down, I remember hearing it before we came here. You gotta be kidding. Yeah. Yep. Are we? What the heck is going on? I don't recognize this place at all. Whoa. What just happened? Did we fall into some kind of teleportation spell? No, that wouldn't add up. Reen! You were called here too? Right. Right, feel like something or someone brought us here, but that's all I can remember. It's strange. Can't remember what we were doing at all a few moments ago. Me neither. It's really weird that it doesn't feel like I was in any sort of panic. I feel like everything was normal. The hell is going on here? Were we even together before this? I could have sworn we had all split up. Can't say for sure, but that's what my instincts are telling me as well. It sounds remarkably similar to what we went through. I'm guessing we essentially experienced the same thing. The only difference is that it has split into two parties, but we're still called all at the same time. I think the most logical thing to do now is swap all the info we have. So you suddenly found yourself in the possession of a strange mirror you'd never seen before and heard a voice. You're right, that's what happened to us too. How did we experience the exact same thing so far apart? Your guess is as good as mine. Even us being unable to remember where we were before is the same. I would only refuse to believe such a bizarre sequence of events, but it's impossible to refute so much hard evidence. My top concern is understanding the why rather than the how. There must be a reason why we specifically were the ones brought here. Know what you mean. This is the last way I expected to see Lloyd and Ellie again. Yeah, wasn't planning on a sudden reunion, but it's good to see her again. I'm sorry it's not under better circumstances, but it's good to see her again, Juno. Same here. Juno continues to be a social butterfly even in the strangest of situations. Nope, that just goes to show how genuine she is. That's certainly the real Juna. Still, if not a single one of us remembers where we were or what we were doing before we were called here. Yeah, that's gotta be by design. Something about this place blocks the recent memories of anyone who comes here. What other explanation can there be? But how can it be possible? It's me, but let's face the facts. It's the only thing that makes sense. I agree, it's the only reasonable explanation. Regardless of how we got here, we have to accept that this place is very unusual. Easier said than done. Anyways, right, let's move past that and focus on the bigger picture. We must consider what we should do next. The first instinct is to search for an escape route so we can return back to wherever it is we were. But you all said you didn't have any luck during your investigation, yes? I'm afraid so. Oh, what up? What was that? Well, what do you know? It looks like Class 7 coming here may have been one of the conditions. Conditions? Oh yeah, you worked something out? Maybe, but I'm still only speculating. As mirrors we were given might just be fragments of a bigger whole, after all. And if that's the case... Well, I think we have a relatively good idea of the situation we're in now. Though I would mind getting a look around here for myself before we go any further. It might not help work out who or what is responsible for all this, but I've actually at least familiarized myself with our surroundings. Good thinking. You said stuff's changed since the first wandered around, right? That's an excellent point. You come with. I want to see what's changed as well. Check it out, the tree is glowing. Even the bark looks weird. Before the same, but it wasn't giving off light like this when we were here before. It feels different somehow. It's as though the tree is springing with vitality now. It reminds me of something from a fairy tale. Oh, do tell. Spirit trees. They're said to have shining branches and leaves, and they are filled with mana that can heal the body and mind. Or at least, that's what I recall reading about. When you mention it, you used to read those kinds of things all the time, didn't you? Suppose it does look something like that. Great. Just what we need. More magical bullshit. But what if it does have the same properties as the trees or leaves described? Then it would help us out a lot. It's worth giving it a shot. I would say that was an accurate deduction. That's a relief. I still don't know what it is, but at least we know it can heal us. I've seen anything like it in nature. Neither have I, but at least we have somewhere to return to if we were injured. Knock on wood, but yeah, you're right. This device is activated as well. It's a little foreboding. You can make out words glowing on it. The Millennial Trove, commodities in exchange for currencies. Wait, what is that supposed to mean? It sounds like it's a vending machine. I'm guessing it takes mirror somehow. That would be convenient. That it would. Who knows how long we could be here. Being able to resupply would be a boon. Right, we found ourselves a shop. The Millennial Trove, was it, huh? I hope its dog lives up to its name. You're all having a much easier time accepting this as reality than I am. It does take some getting used to. So what about the device to the left? Does it serve a similar purpose? I would imagine so. The Blazing Forge. Applied Septium Principles. The vision is a little vague, but do you think it's possible for us to modify our movements here? That would be helpful, and yet... Yeah, this one is even more ominous looking than the other. Maybe because it confirms that there are dangers laying ahead for us. It's a town again. Guessing you managed to satisfy another condition. I wonder what it could be.
Boot process 完了。移送管理領域園定構築完了。これより無限回廊の形成を開始する。
Well, looks like the party is finally getting started. The voice sounds familiar too. Indeed, I believe we're about to learn the reason why we are here. There were a lot of interesting phrases in what the little she said. Boot process, administrator space, the Reverie garden. Yeah, and most notably, Reverie corridor. I would be lying if I said it didn't ring a bell. Let's make our way to the Central Plaza to get a better look at what's changed. Nope. Wir hatten schon mal einen Reverie Corridor in Kurzstil 2. Let's hear from Maria's Hector now.
来訪者たちよ。新たなここは黒の玄武鏡が作りし異界。不条理なる因果を乗り越える力を与える試練の地なり。
The Black Mirror? I'm more concerned with what it means by the trials. I'm guessing this thing governs the space we're in. Meaning we were brought here to complete whatever these trials are.
これは因果律を正すための超特例措置である。来訪者の記憶は制限しているゆえ、おぼろげにしか認識できぬと推測されるが、クロスベルを中心に発生せし、一連の事態は本来あり得ぬ特異点によって紡がれたもの。
Und hier kriegt man schon eigentlich mal den ersten Hinterlauf auf die Singularity Reno in Elysium. Wir sehen schon der allererste Hint dafür.
そなたたちはこれを解決せしめんとするが、いかな因果をたどろうとも到底到達できぬのが実情。よって黒の玄武鏡はここに干渉を決定したものである。
Huh. Is this thing even speaking our language? It confirms that our memories truly are being tampered with. No wonder we couldn't understand what was happening. I'm as lost as anyone else. From the sound of it, though, the Black Mirror is looking out for us. Yeah, and it mentioned something bad happening in Crossbow too. A lot of what it said flew over my head, but if I understood the gist of it, it's saying that it will help us fight against whatever's happening in the real world. I already mentioned it. That's how I interpreted it as well. But how exactly is it going to achieve that? An excellent question, especially given that we are not permitted to remember everything that's happening on the outside.
この世界での記憶は持ち帰れぬが、身につけた力は別である。力を求めるならば、真なる無限回廊に挑むべし。遥かなる因果の先の話ではあるが、そなたたち次第では運命を変えられる可能性も存在する。
Yeah, clears up some of our suspicions, but there are still some things unanswered. True, but we confirmed something important. This place exists to make us stronger. It's up to us to determine how much strength we gain and whether we will be strong enough to change whatever fate has in store for us. That simplifies things, if you ask me. Indeed, we're left with only one option. Rise to the challenge, both for ourselves and the homes we came from. And this has just as much to do with us judging by it being named the true Reverie corridor. I read. Couldn't shake the feeling that this place was slightly familiar to me. Still, we don't know what the true part signifies just yet. Oh yeah, we even said the name rang a bell. True does, brings back a lot of memories. Sounds like this version is here to pump us up and get us ripped. It's like our own secret training ground. It could prove very useful. We all have people and things we want to protect on the outside. And we each know the kind of strength it takes to overcome the impossible. So let's work together and gain the strength we need.
ぜ、そのための我であり、遠征なり。第一階層への侵入を許可する。試練の果ての可能性。人がそれをつかみ取ることを期待するものなり。
Talk about hospitality. Today's finally home for us. Let's take this opportunity. Right. Email challenge the Reverie corridor for his stratum via these elevators. Select which party members you wish to take with you. Lloyd and Reen are required for your initial exploration of the first stratum. Stimmt gerade mal noch die mit, die gerade, glaube ich, am lausten sind vom Level her. Die nehme ich mal mit, weil sie dann gebencht wird. So, für Juices. Juices werde ich auch einfach gar nicht bauen. The items from have had belonged to Reen and Lloyd. Parties have been consolidated. Das war schon dank New Game Plus für uns schon so.